Hi guys, I'm Alex from Island Dog Obedience, and today I'm going to be going over some safety tips in regards to the ECollar system, the Mini Pro Educator by ECollar Technologies. We tell clients to have this ECollar on your dog all awake in supervised hours, and what that means is that there is a human, an adult that is home and awake to supervise the dog. That way the dog is only wearing this under its owner's supervision. So when you go to bed at night, your dog should not be wearing this e-collar. When you go to work or go out of the house during the day and your dog is home alone, he should not be wearing the e-collar system. You should be rotating this e-collar system every 2 to 4 hours on your dog's neck. And that's because if the e-collar contact points sit on your dog's neck for too long, it'll cause irritation and it'll cause hot spots. So rotate it every 2 to 4 hours, changing up where the position of the contact points are on your dog's neck to avoid any irritation. We also don't want to ever hook up a leash to this e-collar system because that's also going to be pulling those contact points around on your dog's neck. We don't want that. We don't want to be pulling them into your dog's neck, anything like that. So please do not put a leash on this e-collar. It needs to be nice and snug on your dog's neck. We say 2 fingers tight, opposite side of the box. That's also to prevent the e-collar contact points from rubbing around on your dog's neck. It's also to keep your numbers on the remote low and consistent. If the e-collar is moving around on your dog's neck, the sensitivity levels are changing, and it's also causing some friction and irritation. So I have Rango here with me. Rango, come. Rango, come. Come, come, come. So I'm going to show you guys. Let me bring him over here. Come. Sit. Good. I'm going to show you guys. I like to put the e-collar on the back side of the dog's neck, right behind one of the ears. There's a large muscle back there, which makes it super easy. But I also like putting it on the back side of the dog's neck so it's harder for the dog to scratch at it and cause irritation. And also, if you put it on too loose, you'll notice the box will move on the dog's neck. So I like putting it right behind the ears. 2 fingers tight, opposite side of the box, so it's right about where the buckle is to adjust the tightness. 2 fingers tight, opposite side of the box. That box isn't moving around on his neck, and also his breathing hasn't changed. If you put it on too tight, you'll notice that there's too much pressure on the dog's throat and his breathing will change. Your dog will cough, stuff like that. So that's how you know it's on too tight, but it needs to be nice and snug. A lot of clients put it on a little too loose, and that's when you get inconsistent numbers. That's when you get irritation and hot spots. So keep it on your dog's neck all awake in supervised hours. Rotate the location of the box every 2 to 4 hours and make sure that it's on nice and snug to prevent any irritation from the contact points. Now, if you take your dog to the beach, I want you rotating the e-collar system every hour. And that's because when your dog is wet, we see a lot more irritation occur. So every hour, I want you taking the e-collar off your dog, drying off your dog's neck, and moving those e-collar contact points to a different location on its neck. If you ever see a yellow light on either your remote or on your e-collar, that means you have a low battery. And so that's going to reduce the power of your e-collar system. If you see the yellow light flashing, go ahead, put a leash on your dog just for safety. The last thing that you want to do is go to use the e-collar system and you don't have any power left in the e-collar. So if you ever see that yellow light flashing, go ahead, put a leash on your dog. Make sure that you are charging the e-collar system every night, just like your cell phone. These e-collars tend to last about 2 days, depending on how often that you're using it. But if you see that yellow light flashing, go ahead, put a leash on your dog just for safety. If your dog does get hot spots right away from the standard contact points that come with your e-collar system, your dog may have a metal allergy. And so if your dog has a metal allergy, we have a couple different contact points that we can switch out on the system. So here we have the titanium contact points. They are the same length as the standard contact points that come in the box, but these don't have the nickel in the contact points that usually cause those metal allergies to occur. We also have, for our long fur dogs, long contact points. These are for my huskies, sometimes my Australian shepherds, my German shepherds if they have thick fur, even golden retrievers sometimes. If your dog has long, thick fur, you may need these longer contact points to get that good muscle connection so that you have the ability to use lower numbers on the ECollar system. If you don't have a good muscle connection because of all the fur, you can sometimes crank it up to 80 or 100 and the dog doesn't feel anything. And so that's really tough, because what happens if there is a high distraction or a high level distraction, you aren't able to go up any higher on that ECollar system. So we want to keep the numbers nice and low, and we do that by having the correct contact points on your ECollar. We also have wings. Wings are good for my dogs that also have some sensitivities to the standard 2 contact points, and also for my thicker fur dogs as well. To get through all that thick fur, the wings are super helpful for that. And then for my smaller dogs, or even I've had 40, 50 pound dogs that are super sensitive to ECollar stimulation, I switch them out for comfort pads. So the comfort pads are 4 gold balls versus the 2 standard contact points. So those were my long fur comfort pads. These are my short fur comfort pads. And again, these are for usually my smaller dogs that are sensitive to low numbers on the ECollar system, but also I've had larger dogs that do really well on the comfort pads. Also dogs that are constantly scratching at the ECollar system. These comfort pads sit on the dog's neck a lot more comfortable than the standard 2, because you have 4 contact points versus 2 contact points that the ECollar comes with. So the comfort pads are really good for my smaller dogs, or dogs that are just sensitive to the 2 standard contact points. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any further questions on how to use the ECollar system, or troubleshooting some issues with the ECollar system, go ahead, reach out to us. We are more than happy to help.